Hi everyone, Gail Minogue here. I wanted to talk to you about, quote, our present day and our present time in a larger perspective. Because most people are looking at these as just very stressful times with social media and negative news and all that stuff. And where's the bigger picture of what's going on? And that's what I want to present to you today. I want to show you, going back in time and going forward, why this period is extremely important, very necessary, and part of a bigger plan. Let's go back in time to what we call the Old Piscean Age. The Old Piscean Age brought in the time of Jesus Christ. It brought in the time of Islam, Confucius, all these, quote, man-made religions. And during this period, which lasts a couple thousand years, the teaching tool for the masses was fear. Fear was the teaching tool. So every age brings in a lesson for people to learn. And at that time, the religions all consolidated to people, versus we had all these pagan gods and all this kind of stuff. So society had to advance, and we came out of that period really what we call the emotional period. And it was based on the main fear was the teaching tool. Well, we've moved on from the Piscean Age. We have lots of remnants of it, and the transition period is very hard, which is what we're in. So, and transition can take hundreds of years. So the transition from the Aquarian Age, from the Piscean Age into the Aquarian Age is very different. And we're going through that. So it's like tectonic plates knocking against each other, creating these clashes and stuff. But you can't stop an idea whose time has come. And the idea that you can is ridiculous. So you're going full bull into the Aquarian Age, cleaning up the age of Pisces. And what you see in the age of Pisces with all religions, you see these wacko religious people around the world with extremism, whether it's Islam, whether it's Judaism, whether it's Christianity. We have in the United States right now, we have the Christian nationalists, okay? Or they have extreme Orthodox in Israel. And there's all this righteousness going on. Into each of these religions has this extreme. And what you see at the end of a period of time is extremism. So why you have this is because we're ending. And they're hanging on for dear life, but they won't be able to stay. They will be transformed through the Age of Aquarius. So that's gradually coming in. And what's bringing into it is the development of the mind and the rational thinking, and thinking versus being in fear. So fear, the teaching tool, is not working as well. You have people dropping religions. Religious has diminished. Churches have diminished. Religious buildings have diminished. They're hanging on for dear life. But no matter what, it's moving forward. So in this time period, too, we have a lot of cultural changes. One of them is, of course, the idea of social media and smartphones and the internet, all of this. And people think this is so difficult, and all these lies that can come out and all that. But let's wait a minute. People say, well, I want to go back to the old days. Do we really? I don't want to go back to a horse and buggy. I don't want to go back to the days when I had no penicillin. I don't want to go back to the days when I couldn't get a loan because I'm a female, or my mother who wanted to be a physician, nobody would take her in med school. And it goes on and on. Why would you want to go back to the days? Because we had a sense of community. You also had a tribal mentality, which was very exclusionary. And you see this throughout society, all these tribal mentalities where we exclude you and the only honor is in the family. And you see this to the extreme, like in Pakistan or Afghanistan, where they kill the daughter if she brought shame, because the only thing the family has is the honor of the family. It doesn't have anything else. So this is the old teaching too of fear. So as we move into the Aquarian Age, we want to welcome technology. We want to see how we can integrate it. Right now, we do not know how to integrate it. We're struggling. This is normal. This is normal when ages change, to struggle through a period of transition. So we don't know how to do our phones without feeling isolated. We lack a sense of community. We have a lot of loneliness and people are depressed and they miss their friendships they had or the sense of community they lost a lot. And as they age, it gets more so. But this is part and parcel also of the transition from the age of Aquarius, which is the age of the mind, technology, etc. We will still need the sense of community, but right now we struggle with how to integrate it. Because it's a struggle, that doesn't mean it's negative, it's just a struggle. One of the big pictures of why we go through this, where we're all on our smartphones, or we're all on the internet, or whatever we're on, is the learning of mental telepathy. We're going to have to learn how to do mental telepathy, how to speak to someone, how to connect with someone without their body being there. So all of this mental stuff of phones and internet connections without a person actually being there is part of the development of mental telepathy as we evolve. Remember, nothing is finished here. Nada, nothing. So it has to evolve. Just as you and I have to evolve, the earth has to evolve. This time period has to evolve. We have big ages to go through that we're going through. You have not seen anything of what technology is going to be doing for us, particularly as we get out of the 20s. The 20s, 2020s are about a patient period. So what are we going to be doing for the next, through the end of the 20s is try to integrate and struggle and all the things that struggle does through these 20s till we come out of them. And so this is all part and parcel of bringing us to the next period of evolution of technology. And as we learn the need for sense of community, we are now taking a look at what we have lost through having smartphones and social media and how it's been distorted and all that stuff. We forget all the good stuff that is coming from it. And it is up to us to learn how to integrate. So our biggest problem is not what I call a sense of community. The community is still there. We just don't know how to integrate it. How can we use our ability for mental telepathy and still integrate the physical need for the energy of other people? COVID was like a bellwether. It cut off the old sense of community, especially in developed countries. We don't have those groups. We don't have bowling anymore. Remember, bowling alone in Kansas had already started back in the 70s and 80s. People were beginning to already be alone. And it was evolving because the Aquarian age is the right of the individual in the collective. The Piscean age was just the collective. The individual age is the age of Aquarius, where we learn how to respect and the individual needs in the collective. So it's just not the collective like in Russia. It's the individual in the collective. And that's a country that doesn't develop or honor the individual. It does the United States. So America is the grand world experiment on how to protect the rights of the individual in the collective. We are the leading Aquarius teacher. We have to learn how to absorb immigrants as well as integrate them, and so that we can be a beacon for the other parts of the world to develop a form of absorption and integration of immigrants. The world is on its move. This is part of the evolution. We're leaving past behind, and I'm happy to leave it behind. I can remember, I've lived long enough to remember things I don't want to have. I'm happy that I can get a hip replaced and it can go beautifully and I can go home. And I can remember, and I've had cataract surgery on both eyes, and I can remember when my father had it, and he had to lie in bed still. He couldn't move his head for 2 weeks. They were so not advanced. So we forget everything is evolving. We think this is it. This is where we're always going to be. Not so. So please have more promise for tomorrow and what tomorrow will bring, and it's how you manage yourself, how you manage your emotions, how you make choices. What choices do you make? And that's always your call. You're the choice person. You're the choice maker. You're the manager of your own emotions. So kind of think that the future is good, especially when we get out of the 20s where we have less turmoil. turmoils, 20s are learning patience to get through stuff. So we're in impatient country. This is not easy for the United States. But think of a grander picture. The good old times had their problems. I wouldn't want to go back 500 years, 200 years. No way. Where childbirth, more women died than lived. You kidding? Or the lifespan at 1900 was 47? No. So we're happy. We're moving forward. We're going to have more what we'll call technology breakthroughs, and you're going to learn to integrate better with a sense of community, because you don't want to feel alone as you get older. So join things, do things for others. The old humanity has not disappeared. You just got caught up in the individual social media world, which can be very, very lonely. So integration is the key. It's the lesson we have to learn, to integrate the two ages. The old age of Pisces based on emotions, and the new age of Aquarius based on the mind. That's the trick. So again, thanks for listening. And I always appreciate your being here with me. Bye. And I want to mention to you that tomorrow, the 9th of November at 11 a.m. Pacific time, I'm doing a 1-hour wrap-up of what we can expect now that the election is over, what we can expect going forward from 25 to 28. These 4 years, very important, very tumultuous, very challenging times for America. So I hope you can tune in tomorrow. It's not too late. Go to my website, gailminogue.com, click on events, and register. You will receive a receipt. Inside the receipt is your link to register on Zoom. So it's a 1-hour Zoom program, Saturday, November the 9th at 11 a.m. Pacific time. I look forward to have you joining us. Thank you.